Well, the start of February brings very unpredictable weather patterns right across the country. Ottawa's no different. I mean, today's about 3 degrees, and come Sunday, Saturday, or Sunday, you're going to see, probably lows of minus 23, 24. How does that affect the pipes, in particular, of course, the plumbing in your home? Michael Lopes joins us. He is the operation manager for Reliance Home Comfort. Welcome to the show, Michael. And yeah, let's talk about those fluctuating temperatures. How does it affect us?
So when we get to temperatures below zero, that's when you're going to start to see perhaps some problems with freezing pipes in the home. Most modern homes out there are pretty well insulated. They're like a plastic bag that contains a lot of heat. But it's once you get into the older homes or mobile homes, cottages, things like that, where the insulation isn't so great. Once you start to get sub-zero is when you got to start to worry about what can happen to your pipes if things get a little too cold.
Well, let's talk prevention then. So, what are some of the tips you can share with our viewers for preventing those frozen pipes?
So one of the best things you can do where we start to see freezing occur is in the basement of homes and on the lower floor. Heat tends to rise up, so the basement's going to get colder first. If you can drip your faucets, if you've got a laundry tub down in the basement or even on the main floor, just turn it on slightly so that you get a drip or a small stream during those really cold days. As long as the water keeps moving, it'll help those pipes from freezing. We've got a
Okay.
couple other options to think about too, and that's those black insulation sleeves you can put onto your pipes if they're visible and accessible, or you can even go a little bit more of an expensive option, which is getting specialized heating tape that actually plugs in, it heats up, and wrapping up your pipes with those to help prevent freezing
Really?
pipes.
Okay, that's
Oh, yeah.
cool. I can see that being really helpful, as you said, at those older homes and in particular at cottages. Let's talk about how to spot a frozen pipe. So that, there you are, you're down in your basement and you're worried maybe maybe your heat went off for some a period of time. How can I spot? What are some of the signs?
Well, one of the most obvious signs is, frosty pipe. You see that normal copper pipe or that plastic pipe, and there's just icicles of frost coming off of it. There's a good sign it might be frozen on the inside. But another more subtle or obvious, depending on what you do, is that the plumbing fixtures aren't going to be functioning properly. So you're going to go
Okay.
to wash your hands in a sink. You're going to go to flush the toilet, and either the water doesn't come out or the toilet bowl doesn't refill. There's a good chance that some of those pipes might be frozen. Water's not flowing anymore.
Let's talk about the worst case scenario here, Michael. Which I haven't had it happen myself, but I have seen it happen to friends and family, and that is what to do if your pipes burst. What's the first thing you should do?
We'll start by cutting off the main water supply. So you got a water supply valve, usually down in your basement, usually closest to the street side of your house.
Okay.
Sometimes on modern houses, those will be boxed in by some drywall if you got a nice finished basement, but it might have an access panel behind it. And you're going to want to shut that off as best as possible. But being in the HVAC trade for so long, people ask me one important thing when it gets cold. Well, first of all, when are you getting here? And second of all, what
Yeah.
if my pipes freeze? um,
Yeah, of course.
so
Well, and
think
that's something to keep in mind because I found myself, not because my pipes burst, but I was doing a plumbing job on the main floor of the first home that I bought, and I had an issue where it started spraying out. And you know what I didn't do as a first time home buyer? I didn't go and look where that main shutoff valve was, and it took a good 5 minutes, and it turned into a disaster. So that's something for people to keep in mind as well, right? Okay, let's say it's
oh, for sure.
happened. You shut off the water. What's the next thing to do?
Sop up and dry up as much as possible. So I don't know if you've ever seen a flooded basement, but that can get inches to feet of water if there's no good drainage down there. So trying to get rid of water as quickly as possible is the best thing that you can do, because if standing water is there, that could create harmful mold that
Right.
will eventually creep in. Sopping up and cleaning it up, and then you probably gonna call a professional to assess your plumbing. In the case of major damage, even contacting your insurance company as soon as possible to help fix those pipes is the best thing you can do.
How often do you see this, Michael, throughout an average Ottawa winter?
We'll see it once or twice. Thankfully, a lot of homes are pretty well insulated. People are pretty good for getting heating people out to their home, like Reliance Home Comfort or any other heating contractors that they have. But we
Right.
do see it where homes go 3 or 4 days in sub 20 temperatures without heat, and we'll see a burst pipe. And really what tends to happen is nobody knows that their pipe is burst because things are frozen. We'll come
Yeah.
in, we'll fix up the furnace, turn it back on, and within, as soon as things start to heat
Yeah.
up, within another couple hours, we're getting a call back.
Thanks for joining us, Michael. Really appreciate it. We'll be back with more right after this.